Hey everybody, welcome to GMG Review. Today I'm checking out HEROQUEST First Light, an advanced copy that was kindly sent along by Hasbro and Avalon Hill for me to check out, and which is a box I'm really excited about. It's not going to be available until May of next year, according to the Hasbro Pulse site, but is a $70 introductory box to the HEROQUEST game system. And what does that mean? Well, basically what that means is you get basically the same things as in the HEROQUEST game box, except in cardstock as opposed to in plastic. Now you do get the plastic heroes and a plastic dragon, but on top of that, you're gonna get 31 cardstock monsters, cardstock terrain elements, and a full-sized HEROQUEST game board. Now what's cool about that is you have the compatibility of this box or the original core box, which is I think 280 bucks Canadian, with any of the expansions that came later on. So you can play all the expansions with this box set, or you can add this box set to the big game box, but you get some additional stuff in here too, which I think is really cool. So First Light is only 70 bucks Canadian. That's what the current retail pre-order price is for it. I think it's $69.99 on like the various board game shops and at GameStop and stuff like that. And it comes with all the components that you would expect in a HEROQUEST box set. So you get the original character sheet, you get a First Light quest book. Now these are original quests using these materials, and there's 11 of them. There's 14 in the original, but they're fully compatible with the app as well as all the expansions that come later on. And you get an annotated HEROQUEST rulebook, the First Light rulebook, which comes with a few of the additional rules from some of the expansions, such as how to use and operate large monsters like the dragon. So the dragon has additional rules for when he fights because he takes up 2 spaces and operates slightly differently because he's a huge monster model. Here is a layout of everything that comes in the box. So you get the full HEROQUEST game board, and this is one of the things I'm most excited about because it's actually double-sided. It has an additional cave system on top of the original layout. So it folds out into the complete same-sized game board, and you can play with it either as the original HEROQUEST board or flipping it over a brand new board with this cool cave system. I am so pumped to have a new HEROQUEST board to play on. A lot of the expansions come with additional like rooms to overlay and stuff like that too. So you can use those with the original board here. Now, this folds up into this little 12 by 12 box set and goes along with all of your cardboard standees. So you get orcs, goblins, rats, dread knights, a gargoyle, the dread sorcerer, some zombies, some mummies, and some skeletons. Now, what's cool about this is if you wanted to just get the expansion, some of them do come with these as miniatures. So you could kind of zhuzh up this box set and skip the big box, as long as you were okay with your terrain elements, which are also in here, being in cardboard. I'll be honest, I had to do kind of a little happy dance when I saw the doors, because I love the old doors. I love the old doors being like in cardboard here. You get the Abomination too as well, sorry. And I do think they came in some of the other ones. So you get 3 chests, the throne, the tables, and you get this kind of cool top-down art rendition of the original pieces of terrain, right? So there's miniatures for these in the big core box, but you get them in cardstock here, and they're perfectly serviceable. It's a 2D game. You get your Zargon's like DM screen basically, which has all of the core mechanic rules in the game printed on here. I think it's the same as one that comes in the big box actually. It might be reduced in size slightly. I didn't compare the sizes of them just to make sure it fit inside this 12 by 12 box, but it has all the core mechanics on it. And then you even get, and I love this little insert, a dice tray. Isn't that cool? Little dice tray to roll all your dice in. You get some hero sculpts in plastic. I love this dwarf, the barbarian as well with his pointing hands. A new rendition of the original sorcerer, which I think is really cool, with his little moon staff and his beard, and then you get the elf. The final miniature is a large plastic dragon, which you can see is a two square miniature that you can paint up, and it's basically the final boss of the campaign. I don't want to ruin the campaign too much for people because that's kind of the thing that might be something people want to save. And this little insert also doubles to hold all of your tokens. So all of your cardstock miniatures can go in here too once you've actually assembled them. Exact same cards as come in the core box, minus anything that didn't have a miniature in here. So like you get all your hero miniatures for the barbarian, the dwarf. You can see the different sculpts too compared to the art on here. The wizard, you get your reference cards for each of the heroes. All the equipment cards, there's some duplicates in here, like there's multiple battle axes as well. Anything that 2 heroes can take. they've got 2 cards, like there's 2 battle axes, because the Barbarian and the Dwarf can both have one. There's 1 Broadsword. You guys remember the original HeroQuest commercial? Chainmail, crossbows, hand axes, helmets, holy water longswords, and then all your spells. So you get the Dread spells for the Chaos Sorcerer, for the Dread Sorcerer. I have to call them Dread. The Dread Man, real Dread. That was a that was a Predator 2 reference for those of you who've been keeping track of the random free associating movie quotes that come out of me. The Gargoyle, the Goblin. So I think this is all the baddies that come in the core box as well. So I think you actually have reference cards for everybody. We get the Dragon card too on here. And man, he's a big mamma jamma. Moves 10 squares, 5 attack, 5 defense dice, 7 body points, and 6 mind points. He is a huge killing machine. And then your special equipment for all the characters too, like the Wizard Staff. All the artifacts looked the same as in the core box, along with the Wandering Monster cards. So Elixir of Life, Fortune Sword, Orc's Bane, Phantom Blade, Ring of Return, Ring of Fortitude, Telekinesis, the Spell Ring, the Talisman of Lore, and the Wand of Magic. And the Wizard's Cloak. Yeah, I think they're all the same. And then the original treasure cards too. So everything from Wandering Monsters to a Genie. Oh no, these are your spells, sorry. I mixed those up. You get all your class spells, so fire spells, air spells, water spells, and earth spells, which is the wizard picks 1, elf picks 1, wizard picks the second one, and you discard the last one. And then, yeah, it looks like the actual Heroic Brew, all the treasure cards are the same as well. So why am I excited about this? Well, for the last year, and again, this doesn't come out to next year, this is kind of sneaking in under the wire in 2024. This is a 2025 release, according to the website. For the last year, I've been talking about how products that are on a lower shelf, I think, are really important to the longevity of the industry. And I've been really impressed. I've been reviewing all the expansions for the Hasbro HeroQuest line that they're doing now, especially the newer stuff with its more modern game design. We're in an era where Hasbro is doing a lot right in this particular product line. They're doing a lot wrong everywhere else, but they're doing a lot right here. And I'm really impressed with this box set because I think what it speaks to is it speaks to a conscious decision to try and get new people to try HeroQuest. So creating this easy to buy, $70 is Canadian, so it's like $50 US maybe, and I think it was 38 pounds. I scrolled through the international prices, but $70 Canadian was the first one I landed on. Was just like, that's under $100. That's crazy for a complete box game with 11 adventures. It just speaks to the idea that they want to introduce new people to HeroQuest, and they understand that the $280 big box is great for the returning player, and it's great for people who know what HeroQuest is, but it's not an impulse buy. It's not the kind of thing that people are going to try out for the first time. And this game needs that to grow. For a new generation of people to check out HeroQuest, something like this is something you can buy a non-tabletop hobbyist, a non-RPG hobbyist, and have them try out, because everything they need to play comes in this box set. You get all the heroes, you get all the monsters, and even though they're in cardstock, most people aren't going to care or notice if it's their first time bringing it, and you still get some miniatures to paint if you want to try that out in this box. You get a big impressive miniature in the form of the dragon, and this wizard, elf, dwarf, and barbarian are really nice character models. They're better than board game plastic, I would say. They're very paintable, and I'm super excited to paint these up and give it a go. This is probably my first, for me, project of 2025. We'll be doing this. Now, I also didn't mention the fact that one of the modernizing things in HeroQuest is the app. And that allows you to have Zargon be run by a little computer, like an AI, as opposed to doing it yourself, which means that you can have this be a cooperative game with 2 to 5 players and not have someone have to be Zargon, right? So you have 4 heroes, 2 to 4 players then, or even 1 to 4 player. Have one person running the adventures, up to 4 if they each choose a hero, and then have the app basically do the rest of the monster movement and stuff like that. And it's fully compatible with this box set. There's QR codes for grabbing it and running the adventures that come in here. And there's 11 adventures to play through. There's 14 in the original box. 11 is a perfectly fine amount of adventures, especially when you go to a dungeon and fight a dragon at the end. And it gives you a complete new board side to play on too for additional replayability. So I'm super excited about this because I think more people will try HeroQuest with a product like this on the shelf, and more retailers are willing to stock a product like this and the expansions if I was running a retail store, and it's funny because I showed this to Chris from Loads of War Games and Hobbies, and he freaked out because he was like, what is this? Like, when can I get these? Because his goal would be to have like 10 of these on the shelf, one big box, and then the expansions. And this is the thing most people would buy. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about this. And good job, Hasbro. Like, this is a great introductory product. People should take note that having this kind of thing and having the big consumable box, I think, is becoming kind of the industry standard, but you still have to have this. You can't have the whole big pasta bowl box and expect that's going to be for everybody. So there it is, my review of the HEROQUEST First Light. It's said available sometime in May 2025, but watch the Hasbro Pulse set. I'll link it all below so you guys can, put a watch or a notification on for it if you want. And this is a great... I will buy a second one of these when Chris gets them in stock just to have one for cash, because he will love the setup and teardown for this. And this is a lot more convenient to have in his room than the giant HEROQUEST box that I got him for Christmas last year. We have so many copies of HEROQUEST in this house. I have the original one all painted up. I have 2 copies of the new one because Cash has one too. And then now we've got this as well. So we do love our HEROQUEST in this house, and bring it to the table on GMG has been something I've been planning to do for a while. So I'm going to start with this because we've already done all 14 with the original box set. So it feels like doing it this way makes more sense and will allow me to use the cardstock and slowly introduce monsters over time, as opposed to having to paint the whole thing all in one go. So yeah, there it is. Big thanks for watching. Big thanks for Hasbro sending this along. Till next time, I'm Ash. Happy gaming.